So welcome to episode 3 from Another Time, Another Place in Palau, Sardinia. And this is where we see James Bond, Roger, Major Amassava arrive in Sardinia. Shortly followed by a boat arriving at Rampia. And we see Major Boothroyd Q, and that's the first time we find out his name in the Bond series, as the lovely Barbara Bach refers to him by his name. Instantly recognisable in the background where the Lotus parks up just here is this sort of like pylon gantry thing, and the shot is looking towards here. You can clearly see those rocks in the background. The buildings have slightly changed since 1977, which was also a very good year because The Spy Who Loved Me came out and my football team won the first European Cup and the League Championship. And you can see the islands in the background too. Lovely spot. So here we are in the charming village of San Pantalou, Sardinia, and this scene is where we see the start of the car chase featuring the Lotus Esprit coupe, and we see very briefly in the film the car drive up here. You can see the wall in the background, and then through this square, and it carries on down the road there. Roughly where I'm stood now is where the motorbike then joins the chase, and we can see the rock formations very visibly in the background at the end of the small scene and at the start. It isn't instantly recognisable today because it looks like a quiet square in the film, and obviously now it's a popular tourist spot with a really nice artisan type market. So just after the motorbike sees Roger and Barbara, Major Amassava, we see the Lotus come into shot down this road here, and along here you can see the buildings on the right, and then the motorbike is following in pursuit, and you can also see on the left hand side of the road where there's like a little cafe, a little orange type pickup. So just been a set piece for the background. This is a section of road where we see Jaws chasing the Lotus with Roger and Barbara in. Sorry about the bad sound, but we've got the rooftop open. So these sections of winding roads here were used when the Lotus is being chased by the Ford Granada, which has Jaws in, and I believe around here in this area somewhere is where the car is shooting at the Lotus, and a bit further behind us is where the oil slick comes out and the car crashes. And if you just look carefully above the sort of like peninsula in the far distance, just above there, there's a helicopter, and I'm pretty sure it's Naomi trying to find Roger. So this area here is where the helicopter run by Naomi comes over the wall and into the scene. Now interestingly in the film, the Lotus Esprit coupe is going down that road there. Got an amazing view in the background, and you can clearly see in the scene later in the chase, which is actually right next to it, which you don't realise in the film because it's a separate part of the chase, but a bit later is seeing cuts where the Lotus is driving down the road and it's actually going in the wrong direction to it's just been in, because it joins this sort of little vista point here, and you can clearly see the concrete bollards which the Lotus drives around to try and thwart the helicopter. There's obviously nothing parked here in the film, but you've got two significant scenes in the chase in one space, but they're actually at different points in the chase in the film. And if you come across here, the Hotel de Volpe, which is where Roger and Barbara Major Massive and James Bond stay in the film, is down there. And we can clearly see that little peninsula and the mountain in the background that we see in the elevated shots in the film. So this section of road here is where the helicopter chase takes place. They use different sections of the road for different parts of the scene. And interestingly, I've worked out today that the actual film car going in both directions, but like I say, amazing road to use, because obviously you've got the vista of the sea on the right hand side, and at some point down this road I can't locate exactly where the helicopter pulls up at the side of the Lotus. Just now we're passing the scene where he drives around those concrete bollards. The wall there is where the helicopter comes into scene, and the Lotus drives down this section of road here. So here we are in Petrarza, Sardinia, and the coastline in the background should be recognisable to most Bond fans, but more so in a second. And this is where you can see the pier now, which is coming into view, and this is where the Lotus Esprit drives down by Who Love Me with Roger and Barbara back and into the sea at the end of the pier. It's always amazing to see these things in reality, because you don't realise how small they actually are. I mean, to drive a car down there at full tilt would have taken some balls really. So still in Petrarza. And the other side of the boats, which you can't see now unfortunately, is the pier, the same pier where the Lotus goes into the water. But I believe in the film it was filmed from this side, so just giving you a different perspective might help it be more recognisable. Here we are at Capricali Beach. We spot very busy, and this is where we see the Lotus submarine. Right, Nelly come out of the water and drive. But the special effects unit actually used a winch to pull it out of the water, and it was a Lotus shell which had been provided only to pull it out of the water. Buried the cable in the sand to make the car look like it was coming out of the water, but you can clearly see the backdrop when it comes out of the sea. There's plenty of umbrellas in the film as well, so very similar to today.